Hey, high school leaders. I'm making a video for you guys specifically because I started realizing something that a lot of the videos I made were oftentimes more geared towards the junior high groups. And some of the things about respect or students not listening, you're like, that's not really the case in my group. And so because you guys are facing different challenges, different ages of students, I wanted to make a separate video for you. So first and foremost, something that would be really helpful is as you're watching this video, maybe pause right now and just let me know how some of the trainings in the past have been. Are they too short? Like you don't feel like you're getting enough content there? You're like, no, the time is just right, but we'd like these topics covered. Or you're like, no, they've been helpful. Just keep sending them, every other week or so, and let us know. This is the most effective way I can feel to get the information out to you guys. And so I want to know what you feel like you need training on, what's most beneficial for you. And I want to make sure that I'm not wasting your time. So I'm trying to make these videos short and palatable so that you understand what's going on, that you're in the know, and that you feel like you're equipped to lead your group properly. So anything I can do to help these videos be better, let me know, please. That would be awesome. But what I want to say to you specifically as high school leaders is I think that you guys have done an amazing job recently just loving who shows up. And I've really felt it with the high school group specifically has started to feel more like a community. It's not just like odd students showing up each and every week. It's people that are, their friend group is there and they're bought in and they feel like they have a sense of community. And I really feel like you guys help create that. And not help create that. I feel like you guys do create that as leaders. You kind of foster that and make that grow. And so what I want to talk about this week is what you guys are already doing so well, but just kind of emphasize this, is this idea of helping every student who walks in feel like they are heard and understood. And now here's the thing is I think a lot of the students we have, you guys are already doing that with. You're going out to lunch with some of them in some cases. You guys know their story. Even with the guys group, it's like I know there's not a bunch of high school guys, so you can kind of take time to get to know each high school guy in your group kind of almost a little more one-on-one and individually. And so it's one thing to just kind of sit and get to know your students. And I think you guys are doing a great job of that, even in the before, where you're not just talking to other leaders, but you're also wanting to listen and talk to your students. And I think that goes a long way for high school students especially. Because when high school students watch their leaders all just in a circle talking to one another, and then it's like, okay, I'm just leading small group with you, what it makes them think is like, okay, you're just here for small group time. And they appreciate that. But when you're spending time with them outside of small group, and I don't necessarily mean like you don't have to go over to their house and hang out with them, but even just that Wednesday night, like when everyone's running around and buying snacks or playing Nine Square or whatever it is, and you're just sitting there talking with your students, that communicates to your student that I want to spend time with you. Not just in group, I'm not just here because I'm your group leader, but I actually enjoy you and I want to get to know your story. And as people feel that, they're going to start to invite their friends who are going through hard times because their friends also are looking for a place where they can just go and feel loved and understood. But because a lot of our high schoolers a lot of the ones that show up are mature, are bought in, are a part of the program, are excited about what we're doing here. And I'm not going to say every single high schooler, but a lot of them are this way. I want to encourage you guys that now we have an opportunity in this next season to kind of lead by example. And what I mean by this is you have the opportunity to encourage your students to start loving with other people and making them feel known and connected. And ways we do this is like when you're talking with them on a Wednesday night beforehand, maybe just going up to your students and encouraging them to go have conversations with underclassmen or other people or new students. Maybe you see someone walk in for the first time and just having eyes for new people walking in and being like, hey, let's take, even though you might be a different grade than them, just saying, grabbing some of your students, your high schoolers, and being like, hey, let's go greet some of these new people. And what that does is because your students already feel connected to one another, now you're teaching them the process of discipleship. You're actually getting to be part of training them to love other people, as opposed to just you being the only one that loves other people. And that's really, I feel like, a large part of how youth ministries grow. Is it's not just when all the old people in the room, are like, yeah, we're going to be here and love students, but it's when the students start getting it, and then they start saying, I want to love the people that are showing up, regardless of what age or grade or whatever it might be that they're in. I just want to make every person who walks in these doors feel loved. And I feel like a lot of you are kind of in that perfect spot where your students are ready for that. They're ready to be pushed and challenged and say, now that you have a community that you love, use that community to invite other people, to surround those who are walking in and make everyone feel welcome. So you guys are in a really unique spot, and the fact that your groups are awesome. You guys are having great conversations from what I've heard, and just continue to even get to know your students better, to every week ask questions, to make your small group focused on how can I get my students to talk, which this is something I struggle with as a pastor. I'm always quick to talk and tell students and teach students everything I want to know. But students don't really care what you have to teach them until they feel like you care about them. It's that old adage, no one knows, or no one cares how much you know until they know how much you care. And it's silly, but I believe it's really true, that when people know how much you care about them, they're more willing to listen. And so that's something I actually want to get better at, is showing each individual student, as much as I can in my capacity, that I care about them. But you guys can do that too. Start caring about them, and then it's like all of a sudden everything you say starts clicking with them. And you're like, what changed? And they don't know how to put words to this, but they're like, well, I just felt like you cared about me. And so I wanted to listen to what you had to say. And I know that when you have advice for my life, it's not just this blatant advice about something you read in the Bible, but it's because of, you know, my situation, you know me, and you have advice specifically for me, fill in the blank, whatever their name is. So, yeah, that's something we can do as our part, is listen to help people feel understood as they walk in these doors, and then actually model that example for them and push them to love and listen to other people as well. Thanks, guys.